When we look at watches that are icons of the watch industry, you'll find a recurring pattern. They were either born out of necessity or as a response to evolving times. Like the Cartier Santos, which was born out of Albert Santos Dumont's flight instrument needs, or the Royal Oak, which was a response to the quartz crisis in a radical attempt to manufacture a more relatable image of luxury. Like the other icons, the Reverso by Jaeger-LeCoultre was too born out of necessity. However, its story has a bit more intrigue than the other icons, which has turned it from an icon to a legend of the industry. Let's talk about it. If you're looking for your next watch, check out Swiss Connection watches for new or pre-owned watches with new arrivals every week. Thanks. The story of the Reverso begins all the way back in 1931, when British military personnel stationed in India required a wristwatch that could sustain the rigor of polo matches. They basically wanted a Richard Mille in 1931. The solution that the reputable Swiss watchmaker known as LeCoultre at the time, together with René Alfred Chauvet, a French engineer, and I don't use this word lightly, revolutionary. A case that could flip over and shield the delicate dial from the rigors of a polo match. The rectangular design was boldly Art Deco, and it was an instant success. It was a sports watch by day and an elegant watch by night. And remember, this was more than 20 years before dive watches made sports watches cool. The solid case pack also provided an outlet for creative expression by enamelers, engravers, and gem setters, providing a template for an added layer of artistic creativity and personalization. But despite its popularity, the Reverso would eventually fade away and be discontinued due to the World War ravaging Europe, with JLC more focused on servicing the needs of the military watches being favored after the war ended. The story of the Reverso would have ended there and would not become the legend it is today were it not for rediscovery by an Italian man in the 70s. A sales agent known as Giorgio Corvo visited the manufacturer in 1972 and stumbled across 200 Reverso cases from its last production in 1948, left forgotten for nearly 25 years. Here, the Italian saw an opportunity to revive the Reverso and the potential it brought with it. But there was a problem. There was no existing movement in production capable of fitting into the Reverso case. Using his network of watchmakers, a movement holder was designed that would allow the JLC caliber 840 to be fitted into the Reverso. Jaeger-LeCoultre took Corvo's process and refined it, and subsequently released a limited run using the 200 cases that Corvo had found. Its success was, again, instantaneous, with all 200 pieces selling out in Italy within a month, which was remarkable given that it would normally take about a year for the brand to sell the same amount in Italy. And this sparked the recent rebirth of the Reverso. Like many iconic designs from some of the leading brands in the world, the Reverso too has been evolved and refined throughout the years, most notably with JLC's 1000-hour control test. With JLC's 1000-hour control test, guaranteeing that all Reverso timepieces leaving the manufacturer in Vallée de Joux are made to their exacting standards. Today, these may look delicate, but they're anything but delicate. Additionally, the Reverso became one of the conduits in which JLC could flex their watchmaking muscles, now a template for not just showcasing the in-house artistry, but also in-house watchmaking abilities. For instance, there were the 6 special editions of the Reverso released in the 90s to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Reverso. And it featured complications like chronographs, tourbillons, perpetual calendars, and minute repeaters for the first time in Reverso cases. The first Reverso dual time in the late 90s featured a second time zone on the other side of the case. Then there were the Grand Complication Reversos, launched in the early 2000s, utilizing both sides of the swivelling case and the carrier plate to display information. And less than 5 years ago, JLC released a 1.35 million euro Hybris Mechanica, featuring no less than 11 complications on all 4 sides. It's truly remarkable how much watch JLC could fit into such a tiny canvas. But don't worry, You don't have to spend anywhere near 1.3 millions of monies to enjoy a piece of history on your wrist. An example like this Monoface will do just fine. In fact, it will do more than fine. This Reverso Monoface comes in a stainless steel case measuring 45.6mm by 27.4mm and a case thickness of just 8.5mm, thanks to its manually wound in-house movement. The design is still quintessentially Reverso, with the Art Deco elements, polished caseback, and a carrier plate with hand-operated perlage finish. The dial features a brushed silver outer ring with black Arabic numerals and a central guilloche finish framed by a minute track. Additional details include a set of heat-blued hands and a subdial for the seconds at 6, with an engine-turned guilloche finish. While the whole thing is far from flashy, the many finishes and details on an entry-level Reverso such as this would personally keep me glued to the dial, or behind the viewfinder of my Canon with a 100mm macro lens. Powering this watch is the evolution of the manually wound JLC caliber 822, the very same caliber that has been powering the Reverso for over 30 years. It has 42 hours of power reserve and beats at 4 Hz. Obviously, updates have been made to the caliber over the years. Most notably, it now features a free-sprung balance with a revised balance cock. It is incredible to think that had it not been for the British military personnel, the rediscovery by Corvo, and JLC's relentless pursuit of perfection, that the Reverso wouldn't even be here today. And when you take a step back to look at the Reverso, from all the complications stuffed into it to the experimental sizes and shapes and variations, the essence was never diluted. It is still a watch that was a sports watch by day and an elegant timepiece by night. An absolute legend of a watch. Visit Swiss Connection Watches for more exceptional watches. Also, do subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more. Thanks.